Chris, although you at the other end when Wilson was out, what was the conversation that ensued when he was on the ground to talk to you?
He said he didn't hit it, and I said he didn't hit it. And that was about it.
And were you surprised when the discrimination was?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I was up the other end. Even in real time, like, I didn't think he hit it. I didn't think he was anywhere near it. So, the umpire must have had a different view on it, but I thought it was not out, and that's why we reviewed it. And from what we saw on the replays, I think even the England guys had given up hope of it being out. So, it was disappointing, and another question mark, I guess.
How sorry did you feel for him at the time, mate, and how was he now?
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird thing because I guess it's people's careers on the line as well. So you want these decisions to be right. I felt for him, but it's been happening. So we just got to get on with it and not worry about that, and obviously try and have a good day.
Are the players losing confidence in the process?
Look, it's a hard one to answer. I think I still think it's important. We want technology to make sure these decisions are correct. And sometimes it goes for you, and sometimes it goes against you. So you just have to take it.
The way you hit the ball, you played as last time you played as well.
I won't say it was in 2020 because I'm not very good at 2020. But I look, every now and again those days happen. And for me also, I think I've wanted to show people that I can play in innings like that. I'm not just a guy who will try and eat up time. So I felt a lot better today and had a positive mindset, and fortunately it worked.
Did you feel like you were playing for your career?
In some respects, yeah. I think my performances haven't been anything to write home about. So I knew that if I'd had a bad test, I guess I'd be under a lot of pressure. So as I said a couple of days ago, I think that I'm not naive enough to think that if I don't score runs, I'll still be in the side.
How important was it today to make such a statement, Australia, to make a statement in good conditions and your previous 4 innings?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. I mean, as a batting side, we've been under a lot of pressure and copped a lot of criticism. And we know we've probably been under a lot of pressure when we've batted it each time, and that's reflected in our performances. So today, I guess the pressure was off us a little bit, and we could go out and play with a bit more freedom, and things worked out much better for us.
Right.
Chris, you said beforehand you wanted to play in a more positive fashion, which you obviously did, but how easy is it to adapt quickly to the conditions with that in your mind, knowing you're going to want to be positive?
Yeah, I mean, if it had been seaming all over the place or whatever, then maybe I would have had to play in a different manner. But I felt it was a pretty good wicket, as proven by the score at the end of the day. So. Yeah, I mean, you still got to adapt to conditions, but fortunately, we won the toss, which was good for us for the first time, and we made the most of it.
Cole, did the movement on the balcony that disrupted you, was that partly to blame for your dismissal?
No, not really. I mean, these things crop up every now and again, and I'll be having a few, or I'll make a phone call because I know who the guy was who was up there. But yeah, no, I'm not going to blame him. I think much.
Chris, you said that the batting lineup had dropped a lot over the course of this series. But when some former players and people are talking about how much pressure you're under, how poorly you've been performing, does that hurt? Does that kind of hit home? Does that spur you on to try and prove them wrong and show how good you are?
Yeah, I mean, it does hurt. I mean, I think that's the one thing that I think I almost needed a couple of days after the last test to really deal with was that criticism. I guess playing domestically, you shielded away from that a lot. But I guess to have guys that you respect criticising you, and justifiably so, it still hurts. But I guess it just it strengthens your resolve, and I think that did that for us today.
Chris, how important was Michael's knock today, in the context of the series, but also just in terms of team morale?
Massive. I can't understate it enough. I think he's such a key person in our batting side that if he scores runs, it makes it easier on everyone else around him. So, we need him scoring runs. As a lot of the other guys are probably still learning their game in many respects. So, for him to score runs and get big runs is massive for us.
Chris, after you got out, it seemed that Michael sort of tried to attack Swan a bit more. Was that something you two had discussed while you were out there with him?
Not really. I mean, I think we talked about rotating the strike, trying to, just frustrate him a little bit, which probably led to my downfall a bit. But he's an excellent bowler, and he doesn't give you much, so you have to find a way. And we try to be positive against him, and it didn't work early, but I think the boys batted really well against him later on.
Were you surprised how much it turned in the first day?
No. I think, you look at that wicket, a few days out, it looked dry with cracks in it, so I knew it was going to spin. Maybe, I'll take it back, maybe it surprised me a little bit how much it spun, but I think, hopefully it's going to spin the whole game and get even better for when Nathan gets his go.
Chris, how did Phil, Ashton and Jackson sort of respond to being left out today? Because each of them probably had a fair case to be included.
Yeah, I think, it's hard for them. Ash, had obviously a fantastic game a couple of games ago, and Birdie's been, arguably he was the pick of the bowlers I heard down in Hove. So it's hard on them, but we all know it's a squad here, and we have to support each other. And to be honest, that's one of the things that's impressed me the most. Everyone's been really supportive of each other.
Chris, you've had your own problems with DRS. Can you tell us how tempting it is to go for a review when there's a Test 100 beckoning?
Yeah, I was trying to get Pup to say anything that could help me take a review, but I knew, I guess, once I got hit that I played across the line, so I thought I was out when it happened, and unfortunately he didn't help me out at all.
Chris, you were told to go away when the tour game was on. Kind of yourself and Shane working your technique a bit. Can you talk us through that week and what you kind of did and how you prepared for this Test match, technically, I suppose?
Yeah, well, a couple of days, as I said, it was good to just get away and wrap my head around a lot of the stuff that was going on. And then I guess both Shane and I have had, a few issues, I guess. So we went and worked on that. I saw what Shane was working at, and I think he was better with what he was trying to do today, and got a good ball. And I was lucky enough to get a few. So I think it served us well.